Hello, everyone. It is Mr. Fernandez, and we are almost there. We have actually finished reading our Harry Potter book, and so now we are going to do our final project that has to do with Harry Potter. And then next week and the week afterwards, you'll have one last final project for the course, and then we're done. We will have made it. We will have succeeded in this quarantine and are learning at home. So congratulations, round of applause, yay, pat on the backs, high fives, excellent. We are succeeding, excellent. I'm super proud of all of you. Couldn't have asked for a better class during which or with whom we would be doing this experience. I know it's been tough, but I'm very, very impressed with how everybody has done. So let's get into your final project. You have no reading this week. You have no formal writing assignments. What you are going to do is create a timeline of everything that happened in the Harry Potter novel. Now, there are a couple of things that I want you to keep in mind. I don't want a lot of words. I want a lot of visuals, pictures and drawings and whatnot. Now, do you have to draw the entire timeline? No. Oh my goodness, no. You can, by all means. If you want to draw, if you find it soothing, if you're good at it, go ahead and draw it. I cannot draw, so I would never ask you to draw as the only option. You can find pictures from Google or online. You can pull from other sources. Make sure you include the link from where you're getting the image and the visuals, okay? That's really important. But you're creating a visual timeline of the Harry Potter novel. Now, what do I want you to include? It sounds like it's only a little bit, but it actually is a lot. I want you to include three things. The first one, character introductions. Anytime a character is introduced in the novel that is of significance, I want you to put that in your timeline. So for example, in chapter 7, The Sorting Hat, we're introduced to like Susan Bones, the Patil twins, a whole bunch of characters, even Seamus O'Finnigan, Dean Thomas. They're not overly significant. So do you need to include them? No. But if you have a timeline and there's no Draco Malfoy, or there's no Hagrid, or there's no Hermione, we got some problems, okay? So make sure you put character introductions, and that will be the first thing that you need to include. Number two, the second thing is you need to include major events that happen in the novel. What are major events? That is not for me to decide. That is for you to decide. Do you think that Harry going to the zoo with the Dursleys is a major event? If you do, put it on the timeline. If you don't, not there. Do you think Harry buying treats off the trolley on the Hogwarts Express is a major event? If you do, great, put it in your timeline. If you don't, it's gone. The major events, up for you to decide. So you need to have your character introductions, so when our major characters are introduced in the novel, and major events. The last thing, so number 3, that you need to include are developments or changes to our characters. Now, this is probably going to be tricky. We unfortunately haven't had a lot of time to really dive deep into this, so I'm not going to grade this part as significantly, but I want you to try because it's very important. We know that the characters start off in a certain way. Harry is very, very quiet. He's unsure of himself. He doesn't know anything about himself. And he finds that out in chapter 4, that he literally knows nothing about who he actually is. By the end of the novel, he's far more secure. He knows who he is. He's comfortable as a wizard. He knows where he's kind of going. But where do those changes happen in the novel? Where do we see Harry become this stronger person? Hermione starts off as a know-it-all, somebody who is so smart and doesn't need friends and is rude and arrogant. But then by the end of the novel, she has 2 best friends, she's well-liked, and she's nowhere near as high-strung. Where do those changes happen? Where do we see that? Hint, troll. I want you to include those character developments. Now, are you going to do those changes for every single character? No, only the characters that actually change. And I'll give you a bigger hint of which characters change. Harry, Ron, Hermione, and Neville. Arguably, those are the only 4 characters that have development in this novel. Draco Malfoy does not have development in this novel. He does over the whole series, but not in this book. Dumbledore, same thing, not in this novel. Hagrid, not in this novel. Arguably not at all in the entire book series. Professor McGonagall, not really in this novel. Snape, possibly, but we're not going to focus on him. So, to recap, the 3 things that you need to include in your timeline. You need to include when the major characters are introduced. You need to include the major events that happen in the novel. And you need to include the development of Harry, Ron, Hermione, and Neville. That's what you're putting in the timeline. You can make your timeline however you choose. You can draw it by hand. You can do it on the computer in Google Docs. You can make a slideshow of it. You can make a video where you put the images and whatnot. Keep the writing to a minimum. So just like a little subtitle to say, Harry and Ron meet Hermione. Harry meets Ron. Hermione, saved by Troll, makes friends with Ron and Harry. Character development begins. Something like that. Keep it short, keep it simple. Remember KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. Okay? If you have questions, comments, or concerns, let me know. I will not be surprised if you have a lot of questions about this, and that's okay. It's a big project, and so it's the only thing you have to do this week. Again, let me know if you need anything. Best of luck, and I miss you all. Bye.